to raise the level of living. That's what it's all about. I'm Magnus Packel, and this is Magnus Packel GVA. I appreciate you being a part of our show. Recently, Congolese warlord Thomas Lubanga was found guilty of enlisting and deploying child soldiers by the International Criminal Court. Prosecutors in the case said that an estimated 60,000 people died in the Ituri region of the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of the Congo during the 5-year ethnic conflict that thankfully ended in 2003. In the conflict, Lubanga gained the notoriety of using thousands of young children under the age of 15 to kill and maim, taking them from school where they could be prepared for leadership and development to the bush where they were taught lessons in rebellion and destruction. The contentious film Kony 2012, that is reported to have got more than 100 views in less than a week, shows highlights of Ugandan warlord Joseph Kony's atrocities and the claim that his Lord's Resistance Army, LRA, recruited 30,000 child soldiers. Reports also indicate that in Somalia, Al-Shabaab fighters abduct young girls and boys from their homes or schools, in some cases taking entire classes. Children are sent out to recruit other children, often having been lured to soccer fields. They are often taken to war after being mentally and physically abused. In 2004, a report said that up to a half of the world's child soldiers were in Africa, putting estimates at over 200,000, some as young as 7 years old. There was time all across Africa when if you did something wrong, people asked, where is he from? Our people don't behave like this. They would say that. Has urbanization destroyed that African thread in the fabric of our communities? I think what is gnawing at the fabric is poor community leadership. Human progress does not come carried on the wings of inevitability. It comes because people are committed to ensuring that it happens, even in the face of odds. In the end, any group that identifies itself in any kind of way must be able to organize itself, and hopefully for good. In view today, trading with the giant. But up next, our hidden economics for you. Why do women wear red lipstick? Stay with us. Why do women wear red lipstick? Guys, not always for that. Women who use red lipstick well can add as much as $10,000 a year to their income. Although many women have broken the so-called glass ceiling and have become presidents, prime ministers, finance and foreign ministers, in general, there's still an unrighteous economy for women throughout much of the world, and especially in Africa, because there is an unjust repression of their participation and career rise. Women wear red lipstick to be noticed. Notice that guys also often wear a red tie to show importance. Women want to be noticed and taken seriously. Women are constantly fighting and struggling to show that they are as good as the next guy. In the unjust repression, much better women often get much less recognition and pay. Wearing red lipstick can get you the attention you want and cause people to find out more about you. But you have to get it right. Well done and consistently, and with a dignified overall presentation, red lipstick alone can add as much as $10,000 a year to your income, as it increases the demand for what you have to offer. Now, women who are very successful already may not need the red lipstick that much. Also, some ladies do not like red lipstick and must use much effort to overcome the glass ceiling repression. Now, this may cost you as much as $5,000 a year. But for most ladies, keep that red lipstick close by. Good economics for you. Trade rather than aid is much more needed for economic growth and development in Africa. Economic growth driven by diversified trade and investment is the critical engine that will help end poverty in sub-Saharan Africa. But what happens when you must trade with the giant? Indeed, for Africa, accounting for only about 2% of global trade, just about every other region of the world is a giant. Until the recent ascendancy of China in world trade, the United States was Africa's largest trading partner. China has been able to bring its influence into Africa, often acting as the leader of the developing world. Even so, Africa's trade with the United States continues to grow in size and importance. How can Africa be successful in trading with a giant like the United States? In May 2000, President Bill Clinton signed into law the African Growth and Opportunity Act, AGOA, to expand U.S. trade and investment with sub-Saharan Africa. AGOA was to also stimulate economic growth and facilitate sub-Saharan Africa's integration into the global economy. But here are two questions. One, is Africa really taking advantage of AGOA to create jobs at home and speed economic growth and development? Two, what countries in Africa are leaders under AGOA for non-oil exports to the United States? In the year 2010, United States merchandise imports from sub-Saharan Africa were $65 billion, up 38% from 2009. However, AGOA imports, including GSP, during 2010 totaled $44.2 billion, up 31% compared to 2009. During this period, non-oil AGOA imports totaled only $4 billion and grew considerably slower at just 18% compared to total AGOA, which, as I said, grew a whopping 31%. Recently, I visited Florie Lizier, the Assistant U.S. Trade Representative for Africa in the Office of the United States Trade Representative. Ms. Lizier leads U.S. trade efforts and investments in sub-Saharan Africa and oversees implementation of AGOA. She also leads interagency negotiations and implementation of a number of trade and investment agreements with sub